So after years of working around the country as a professional brewer and in other countries as well, we finally, Christine and I, my wife, finally got the opportunity to start our own brewery. I like to joke that having worked for bosses who've allowed me to freely express myself in the past, it's always been as a part of a team that has sales and marketing departments, and so there's always been somebody there to say, Steve, that's a stupid idea. Well, now there isn't. Now it's living and dying by my own decision making. If I make a stupid beer and it fails, then it's all down to me. So 6 years ago, Christine McKeever and I opened Drop-In Brewing. It was, as we say, the realization of a dream, looking for opportunities in the past that have never really materialized. Finally, everything fell into place and we were able to open Drop-In Brewing. We had some ideas about what we wanted to call it. Of course, in the modern day, all the good names are taken. There's a brewery named after every town. There's a brewery named after every person. All the clever and cool names are already decided. And it was very difficult to hit upon a name. Finally, we came up with Drop-In. Because it kind of signified what we were hoping to be about. Outdoor sports all require that you drop into something, a half pipe or on a snowboard or a set of skis, a wave on a surfboard, a skate park on a skateboard, down a mountain on a mountain bike. You're dropping into something. And to me, that implies that you're about to have a big, scary adventure. A big, scary adventure is about to begin for you. You are going to survive it with your skill, and you're going to impress everybody watching. And that's what Drop-In kind of meant to us when we were first starting out. It doesn't hurt that my grandfather, who drank a reasonable amount of beer and always really appreciated every beer I ever made, and would hold a beer up that he was liking that I'd made and would say, that's a lovely drop of beer, Steve. So the word drop had a special meaning for us as well. We've been running the brewery with a philosophy of how we intended to brew ever since. We want to make quality beer available to everyone every day. At a reasonable and a fair price. We hope and expect that people will drop into our tasting room and pick up some beer on their way home from work. People will drop in and pick up some beer when they're going on a trip. People will stop in and pick up some beer before watching a game on television. There are any number of reasons why someone might drop into the brewery to pick up some beer at a fair price that is going to guarantee an enjoyable drinking experience. There is a certain amount of returning to my roots about this as well. I began brewing in the UK, where certain things were understood about how you brewed. You would make a beer that people would want to drink more than once. You'd make a beer that people would want to drink repeatedly throughout an extended session in a pub throughout the evening. And to me, a certain amount of that art has been lost in the American craft brewing market. Beers that are designed purely for sipping, beers that are intensely flavored, that are very enjoyable for a few sips, but that customers find perhaps a challenge to drink not just one, but maybe several. But Drop-In, we bear that in mind. We've taken from the techniques that the larger breweries use in order to create a beer that is still refreshing and crisp, but also perhaps encourages you in a sense to want another one when you're finished, but at the same time added that British element of more intense and more interesting flavour and complexity into the beer. We make beers that you can drink when you're thirsty, but also roll around in your mouth and explore and find nuance and subtlety and complexity and quality.